Good evening, everybody. It may be time to declare war outright against the deep state and clear out the rot in the upper levels of the FBI and the Justice Department. Yes, I said the rot. The FBI and the DOJ have broken the public trust by destroying evidence, defying oversight, and actively trying to bring down the Trump presidency. Tonight, there are new concerns that anti-Trump FBI officials formed even a secret society at the FBI to subvert the president after his election. That's according to two Republican lawmakers who've seen some of the thousands of texts between the FBI's Peter Strzok and Lisa Page.
The day after the election, the day after what they really didn't want to have happen, there's a text exchange between these two FBI agents, these two supposed to be objective, fact-centric FBI agents saying perhaps this is the first meeting of the secret society. So, of course, I'm going to want to know what secret society are you talking about, because you're supposed to be investigating objectively the person who just won the Electoral College. So, yeah, I'm going to want to know.
Our first guest tonight is Congressman Francis Rooney. He's called for a purge of the bad actors at the FBI and the Department of Justice. Also tonight, major developments in the special counsel witch hunt. Mueller has now interviewed both Attorney General Jeff Sessions and former FBI Director James Comey. President Trump, however, says he's not concerned about the investigation of the special counsel, which has yet to yield a shred of evidence of collusion.
No, I'm not at all concerned. Did you talk to him about it? No, I didn't, but I'm not at all concerned.
President Trump also denied any reports that FBI Director Christopher Wray threatened to resign amid growing pressure from the White House and Attorney General Sessions. Those reports, fake news. At this hour, Wray remains as the head of the FBI, but his chief of staff, James Rybecki, is leaving the Bureau. Charlie Hurt and Ed Rollins will be among those joining me to discuss the growing calls to end the Mueller witch hunt altogether and to appoint a second special counsel to investigate corruption at the Department of Justice and the FBI, and potentially the Mueller special counsel. Our top story tonight, evidence of ever greater corruption in the FBI and DOJ. The FBI claims they lost text messages between agents accused of anti-Trump bias. But among the texts that we do have, there is disturbing discussion of a secret society working against President Trump and his administration. Fox News Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge with our report.
Newly released promoted FBI agent Peter Strzok and reassigned lawyer Lisa Page suggest they discuss the merits of joining Mueller's team. Strzok writes, "You and I both know the odds are nothing. If I thought it was likely, I'd be there, no question. I hesitate in part because of my gut sense and concern there's no big there. On Fox, Republican lawmakers said the texts are more evidence of political bias.
But I care a lot about the Department of Justice and the FBI, and it breaks my heart that we are having to have this conversation about two agents that only wanted to get the president. They didn't have any interest in clearing him.
Another Republican who read the text said the FBI officials talk about a, quote, secret society within days of President Trump's victory.
There was a society of at least two people, to include Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, that had a desire to keep Donald Trump from becoming president, and then an expressed intent to work against him after he was elected president.
In a cryptic text, Strzok writes, "I personally have a sense of unfinished business. Unleashed it with MYE, or mid-year exam, the FBI's code name for the Clinton email case. Now I need to fix it and finish it." The FBI blames a technical problem for a 5-month gap in the Strzok-Page texts and would not comment on whether the Bureau has taken physical custody of their phones to recover the messages.
It is no coincidence, in my opinion, that we're missing texts that run from when the Russia investigation was launched right up to the point where you have the Mueller investigation being launched.
Writing in a tweet, President Trump called the missing text one of the biggest stories in a long time. The Senate senior Democrat called out Republicans for undermining Mueller.
But he shouldn't be thwarted in any way, and the diversion that they're trying to do, both with Mueller and with others, is not good for the country.
In a separate development, President Trump said the White House had no advance notice of Attorney General Jeff Sessions' special counsel interview last week.
No, I didn't, but I'm not at all concerned.
The president also denied media reports that FBI Director Christopher Wray threatened to quit after pressure to remove his deputy Andrew McCabe, a longtime lieutenant of fired FBI Director James Comey.
He did not even a little bit. Nope. And he's going to do a good job.
Those close to the president tell Fox News they always expected Attorney General Sessions would be interviewed by the special counsel, but they didn't know the timing. Today, a White House spokesman emphasized transparency and their cooperation with the special counsel. Lou?
Catherine, thank you very much. Catherine Herridge reporting. Well, in the last 48 hours, we've learned more about the deep state and public corruption involving two of the most important law enforcement and national security institutions, the FBI and the Department of Justice. Every member of Congress now who has read the classified intelligence memorandum detailing FISA surveillance abuse seem deeply disturbed, to say the least. Our next guest is calling for the release of the classified documents and demanding a purge of officials at the politically corrupt FBI and DOJ. Joining us tonight is Republican Florida Congressman Francis Rooney. He's vice chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good to have you with us, first of all. This is now reaching a level that I don't think many anticipated, and that is two institutions that are at the foundation of the special counsel are obviously corrupt and working against the public interest.
Well, first, Lou, thank you for having me on again. I really appreciate it. No one would have assumed or foreseen the depth of the rot that you're talking about. Who could have thought such unconscionable and outrageous behavior would be conducted right inside the DOJ and the FBI? That's why those memos need to be released. Let the American people see what's happened here.
And your reaction to the four-page memorandum, and all that we are learning, missing text between Page and Strzok, as if it was just a sort of an offhand, one-time affair, not a continued series of glitches that seem to keep evidence away from investigators.
No, I think the two words "pervasive rot" are what come to my mind, and I think a lot of Americans are going to feel the same way.
And where do we go here? I mean, we have some of the most respected congressmen who serve with you, yourself, everyone talking about this, yet the American public still has a wall between us and the truth. And how soon can we expect to see those documents to make a determination? Not as Adam Schiff, the radical left Congress from California, put it. He said, we are too stupid to understand that, we, the American public. I've never heard such an excuse, such silliness or such insult from a sitting congressman.
I felt the same way when I read that this morning. It's one more example of this intellectual elitism of the progressive group that has nothing to do with what built this country and what's going to continue to make this country great again.
And how soon do you think we will see the memoranda, see the evidence? And then I wanted to conclude with one other question, but I'll hold it till you answer that.
Well, I hope soon. Time's of the essence. I mean, I have joined in the letter to the Speaker urging that he release that material as soon as possible. I think he wanted to let the dust settle on the government shutdown problem that we solved, and now I hope he'll do it quite soon. I think you're going to be shocked.
Well, to tell you the truth, I am not... I don't think I've failed to be shocked even to this point. I knew that there was corruption. I knew that there was an effort to subvert this president, but the degrees, the dimension to which it's risen are extraordinary. Do you believe that the president should hold off, and I'm asking for your counsel on this, just in your theory and your view, do you believe the president should permit Robert Mueller to talk with him so long as there is so much question about the two foundation institutions for the special counsel, that is DOJ and the FBI?
You know, you tend to say, why not talk to him? because you got nothing to hide. And obviously, after all this page turning and tree killing, they haven't found anything at all. But on the other hand, you're right. The rot in this investigation is so deep that connecting all the dots of all these different people, they all keep going around in the same circle. And now this revelation today that they were talking about confirming what we've been saying about a deep state, I just don't know.
Congressman, it's always good to talk with you. Thanks for being with us. Congressman Francis
Thanks for having
Ray.
me on.